Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Mydro, Raja, Quishy, welcome in. Welcome. You guys are doing really well. I think I am ready to jump in. I have a little bit of hobbying to do today, but then we're going to do some kind of extra things and try to stay busy. Funny enough, I don't have any minis prepped to paint, so it looks like I'm gonna I might be falling short of some stuff here, but trying to be well. All right. Well, good luck. So I'm gonna assemble a mini. This is what I'm gonna assemble here. Just a nice Phobos librarian. Hey, Mydra on YouTube, welcome in. Demon Angel Wolf, welcome. Yeah, we're gonna get this guy assembled here. There's a pull tab there I should have just pulled, but I forgot they do this. clamshell packaging. That can go recycling. Okay, crazy instructions. It's gonna be a wild mini to assemble. It's a whopping 10 pieces. Got a base, got more recycling. What is going on? Happy Tuesday, guys. How you guys doing? I feel like it's already Wednesday, and that's not good. I have a lot to do. So, make some coffee and paint some Battletech. Nice. Hey, Lion Joker, what's going on? How have you been? I think he just has us go in order of pieces here. We'll gently cut everything out. So 1 and 2. Get going. 10 pieces all those. I know those take forever. Yeah. It might take me half an hour. Oak man, make some coffee, paint some Battletech. That sounds fantastic. Sounds like a seriously great way to spend an afternoon. Welcome in, Vaughn. How's everybody doing today? Show you guys some minis I have assembled. Better? Life kicked me down for a long time. Good now, yeah. Alright. To get new supplies, to start from scratch, that's okay. It happens. It's awesome you're getting back into it though, Lion Joker. Yeah, it has been a while. I'm glad you're doing better. Really just take our sweet time assembling this mini. I have yeah, a couple different things. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. That's a whole other thing. I don't have any minis primed or base coated, and I don't know if I'll have time to do that today. So we'll see. This is not the Gravis Captain, this is the Phobos Librarian. That's what we're doing. Lion Joker, what are you jumping back into the hobby with? What are you gonna be working on? Okay, yeah, that foot fits right up there. Let's get our plastic cement out. I want to say I painted a Gravis Captain. Is that for Zendral maybe? It's a really cool mini. I liked that mini a lot. Some cool kind of basic Captain options. That was really nice. Alright, piece number 3 here. Salty at the new Tau Twin Lance at $111 for 160 points. That's not even close to the worst dollar to point ratio. I think the worst, I mean, it's not great, but you know, they priced that unit because they're like an auto include for competitive players, so you know, you got that to deal with. But I think the worst might be the Solar Auxilia Hermes Light Sentinels. I think they're $60 for 2, and they are 30 points in game for 2 of them. No, they're less than, it's like 24 points for 2 of them. However, 24 points is less than 1% of an army, because a normal Heresy game is 3,000 points, not 2,000. So the ratio looks even worse. Kane's getting brushes. I think I'm picking up something small to start with. Any suggestions? I mean, if you're just wanting to paint minis to have fun, there still is like Nolzor minis are, you know, they're $5. You normally get 2 characters or like a monster or whatever. I think those are great minis. I've always enjoyed painting the Nolzor's minis. Yeah. I don't think that's a terribly bad idea. Yeah, the Nolzor stuff. Yeah, the D&D minis. Okay. Just built the Gravis Captain and 3 Flame Aggressors. Nice. Classic Salamanders. Very nice. This for a minute. Probably do some gap filling here, but what you got? Where am I looking? Finished projects? Alright, let's just hold this in place and we'll take a look. Oh, nice. That's both of them, right? It's Vulcan, Histon, and Adrax Agatone, right? That doesn't trash the ratio across the board. If that ratio, $1,400 for 3,000 point army, is that right? Yeah, that's you might be correct on that. Yeah, they're not quite that bad when it's all said and done, but you can make essentially an army focused around, for a 2,000 point. No. Normal Heresy game is 3,000 points, so add an extra $700 on that. If you're talking about the Light Sentinels. Oh no, you're talking about the Twin Lance, right? The Twin Lance would be $1,400 for 2,000 points. Okay, good deal. It's all sealed in. Yeah, I'll get this mini assembled and I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I've been working on. Let's see, we got 5, some personal mini projects. Absolutely insane about the price. Yeah. No, I get it. That's the thing with like named characters. It's that like unique purchase. Like no one's gonna buy more than one, so GW prices them higher. You know, Tuvon with the ratio we were talking about, it's more. It's higher than that, but yeah, a Solar Ox army is probably the most expensive army to collect in 30k if you're buying straight plastics, and unless you're playing like Militia. Militia would be worse, but that's just the worst ratio to unit, where you're paying over $2 a point, and the models themselves cost less than 1% of a total army. To Necrons, how much is the Nightbringer? Is it like $100 mini or something? Yeah, I get it though. I get it. Okay. Yep. Just his face here. Titus with 7 normal dudes. Yeah, $90. I think there's something to be said about, you know, seeing a mini, and if it's too expensive, just being like, I'm not gonna buy that, and then just going on with it. I mean, like, things you know about GW, they don't care about feedback on pricing, right? And also those minis are going to sell regardless, because new shiny, and it's also it's a luxury product. Yeah, oh, the flayed ones. Yeah, the flayed ones are the biggest Necron ripoff. Yeah, yep. And they're terrible to build. Yeah, it's just all around, like, really bad. Piece number 8, 6, and yep, that's it for that. I believe every day's a good day when you paint. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your mind. Hey, Glorious Miniatures, welcome in. How are you doing, Glorious Miniatures? Welcome, everybody. Thank you for the raid. Is there someone that can shout out Glorious Miniatures? Guys, go follow Glorious Miniatures. I don't recognize your name. Let me just I am following you. Okay, I have been to your channel before. Oh, nice. All right. Well, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Butters, welcome in. Love the name. Oh, he was Glorious Badger. Okay, I think I remember Glorious Badger. Okay. He's a fabulous painter. Yes. Also, that was recently changed the name. Gotcha. Welcome, guys. Everybody go follow formerly Glorious Badger, to Glorious Miniatures. What were you working on? Welcome in. Wasp Fury, welcome. We are just assembling a Phobos Librarian. And then I have some like random things. I'm going to show off some minis I assembled over the past couple days. And then we're going to be working on some Oldhammer stuff. Not in a hobby sense, but I'll explain. Right. Butters, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, guys. Ultramarines, Rhinos, very nice. Very nice. So, you know, I do have an Oldhammer miniature I can show you guys. I haven't touched. I've had this mini for like 5 or 6 months and haven't done anything with it. I'll get there. If you're patient, we'll get there. We don't have too much longer on this mini. Building first Chaos Rhino last night. Now doing an Infernal Master. Very nice. Oh, the Infernal Master mini is great. I have an Infernal Master painted and everything. I just never put him on a base, and he's just like waiting. Oh yes, the dude's doing the Charles Xavier here, trying to reach his temple with his 2 fingers, but he can't. His armor doesn't bend that well. I do love me some Ultramarines though. What haven't I enabled? What you talking about? 19 Jaeger, welcome in too. Marjorie, you still gotta let me know a mini I can paint for you, or send me a mini to paint for you. Or I guess if you come across something that you feel like you really want painted, you want me to do it. Okay, we also need the base piece. Alright, it's our next piece. Ultra small. Salamanders are great. No, I love salamanders too. So I won't besmirch any of them. Not them, as long as you're not a Space Wolf player. And I don't have really any harsh words. 1,000 points, 1,000 suns, on to 2,000. Very nice. Very tempted to send you one of the drones from the Riptide. I could justify shipping a drone. I get that. $5 if you put it in a small enough box through post office. The starting rate's like $4.70 something cents. Or if it's on sprue, you can put it in a just like a bubble envelope, and it might be a little cheaper. Just some suggestions. Yeah, that goes right there. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, the new Victrix, I know they're like busted and OP and everything, but man, they look so cool. I saw someone had painted some on posted them on Instagram the other day. It was like the banner dude. I was like, man, now I really want those minis. I can't get my head around how to build a 1 to 2,000 point army. You have to venture into Warhammer store and ask about it. Yeah. So you get like, you know, it's every model's worth a certain amount of points in the game. And a standard size game of Warhammer 40,000 is a 2,000 point game. So each player brings an army that is worth 2,000 points. And then they battle it out. They play using rules and stuff. So building an army is something you do ahead of time. Like figuring out what you're going to bring to the table. Literally and figuratively. So a lot of people, with the kind of standard thing to do, yeah, it used to depend on, with 40k at least, weapon options don't matter so much. You could buy other Games Workshop games, you pay points to bring different weapons because some are better than others. But you work on an army ahead of time, and a lot of people use, what they'll do is when they're like getting into an army, like a new army, they will kind of write out like a rough 2,000 point list, and then they make that their goal. So like, hey, I'm going to paint this, and I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to paint this and buy this, and they use that. Or I'm just going to buy everything and then never paint it. Like, I don't know how people work, but that's what they use as their kind of yardstick, I guess, for their army. Or it can be like me and just have 15,000 points for a particular army, and just bring whatever you want whenever you want. But to look good, now it's the best weapon. Yeah. I mean, whilst there still is best weapons, it's just they don't cost any points now. GW can't balance their game that well. A little bit. Yeah, you know, that is a very good question about 11th, and I guarantee that's going to be the number one question for people. Are we going to be able to pay for equipment? And I guarantee that when 11th edition gets announced on March 26th, which is a Wednesday for Wednesday evening. I think if you're in the UK or Europe, it might be a Thursday morning. But Wednesday night on the 26th in the US, when they announce it, I guarantee they're going to address that one way or the other. Either they're going to hype it up like, look at us listening to fans, and we're going to, you know, start adding points in and all this stuff. Or it's going to be like, no, we still have, you know, you can equip what you want for your minis because it's thematic or whatever. They'll do that. And I am all about gaming WYSIWYG. And if I want multiple weapons on my minis, I magnetize them. I'm crazy, though. New Recruit app or 40k app help with building lists. That's true, yes. New Recruit is a great one if you don't have like a Warhammer Plus subscription. This mini went together really nice. There you go. Alright, well. Stream's done for the day, guys. Put together a mini. It's been 20 minutes or whatever. Just kidding. We won't end it there. WYSIWYG can rot. I ain't got the cash. Rule of cool always trumps for me, yeah. No, I'm not actually done yet. It might be a somewhat shorter stream, but that can be done yet. Right, toss that into the recycling pile. Got our instructions again. We're gonna be painting this dude, so it'll be cool looking. Yeah, you may not be able to build lists unless you subscribe to to Warhammer Plus, which is like a $6-7 a month thing. You know, because we can't own things anymore. We just have to subscribe to them. Yeah. I don't care so much if people don't play WYSIWYG that I play against, because I understand people don't have the time or money. I like to play WYSIWYG, though. I don't like to take things if I don't have the actual thing for. So, a couple things. So we got this mini assembled. This is actually a commission mini we're going to be painting. So, got them glued together. We're going to spend some time on this mini when I get the chance. It'll be a lot of fun. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. So, I know Sunday I was assembling... I did look in finished projects. Yeah. Did you put some more in there? No, you got Adrax and Vulcan. Yeah. They look baller, dude. The flames going all around them, and yeah, the OSL with the orange on the minis, fantastic looking. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you responded when I was talking about it, but no, solid work, Tuvon. Guys, go check out Tuvon's Salamanders. You got both the named characters and finished minis in the Discord there. There's sources for getting the unit rules. Yeah, new recruit is, I think, the #1 like go-to army list builder, and it's completely free. It's all good, Tuvon. I don't mind taking a second look. They're gorgeous, and I like salamanders. So I was assembling some minis on Sunday, and I had some little 3D printed bits, and I messed around with them and struggling a little bit, but I got them all done. These are my Legion Seekers for my 30k Thousand Suns. And you guys saw the Sergeant here. He's got a unique pattern bolter here. I can zoom in a little bit. Okay. Unique pattern bolter with a cool drum magazine. He's pointing because he's important. He's got some cool shoulders. These are my first Heresy Thousand Suns with the Ouroboros on their shoulders. So doing Ouroboros and the Sunburst. But that's mainly because of their role in the cult they're part of. The bases on these are temporary. These are not bases. I paint them on these bases, and then I move them over to their actual bases when they're done. But that's the Sergeant, and then I have a bunch of other dudes. So this is just a normal Seeker. Right here, a similar style bolter. I have a bunch of these bolters here. This guy, they all have unique helmets. But again, more of the Ouroboros style shoulder pad. What do we got? We got more Seekers here. These dudes are shooting. I love the walking and shooting guys. Those guys are really cool. This guy's like kind of aiming up. And then I have a couple unique dudes. So this guy has it's an Auspex scanner, right? Auspex augury scanner, something like that. But he's got a scanner thing, so it's really good. Stops people from getting damage mitigation saves basically when you shoot at him, which is really important for this squad. That's just another bolter guy. This guy, he's cool. He's throwing a grenade. I thought that'd be fun. So I got a random grenade throwing dude, which is awesome. And then this is the Nuncio Vox mini, which is very important. And I like the extra kind of different Nuncio Vox that he has. He provide Auspex tactics. Oh yeah. That's the way to win battles, providing Auspex tactics. Oh man, it's a scanner. So, those are my my Seekers, which I am excited to paint, and I'll probably paint them fairly soon. Let me zoom back a little bit more. But yeah, I'm really excited about those. The other thing I got, let's put that up. I got a drop pod, and you know, because this isn't just one drop pod, it's actually 2 drop pods in the box. So I got some drop pods. Yes, whilst they are a mix of GW and 3D printed parts. So if we just take a close look here, the blue parts are 3D print resin. So the shoulders, the arms, the bolt guns, and the heads on these are resin. The rest are plastic Mark II Tactical Marines. And again, these are for Horus Heresy, Legion Seekers. They're like elite kind of hunter units that are really good as Thousand Suns, so I'm going to try them out. But I have this. So what resin do I use? I use a blend of what is it? Soraya Fast Navy Gray and Soraya Tenacious Obsidian Black. But it's like a 10-to-1 ratio of fast to tenacious. Some people have a beef. Well, nobody in the heresy community does, so I don't care. I also don't care what a lot of people think, and no one in my local community has ever had a problem with it. And if they did, they're probably not someone I would play with. So I also don't play at an official Warhammer store. If you play at Games Workshop, like they have issues with it, but I'm very fortunate to live in an area that has like 15 awesome local game stores, and none of them are owned by Games Workshop. So, and if they were, I'd just play at my house. So, all right. So this kit, my local store had both. It had the now Heresy branded one. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, Glorious Minis. It's great. It's a great blend. They had the 40K one that had the two new ones with the doors that are stuck open, and then they had the 30K branded one that's now 30K branded, where the doors open and close, you get one of them. After discounts and stuff, I think it was $48 US for the one Heresy drop pod with opening doors, or I could pay $68 for two already open drop pods. And I had also heard for the past 20 years about how horrible that old drop pod was to assemble. And I didn't want to have to deal with moving parts. So there was a lot I didn't want to have to worry about. So I just said, whatever. I'm going to get two drop pods for a little bit more than one drop pod. I'm going to hopefully have an easier time. And then when they go on the table, they're not going to be closed. So you just put them on the table and they're open. Like, that's fine. So I got two of them. The assembly of this kit, the old drop pod was miserable. I bet. So this new kit, I kid you not, this one drop pod, the pieces were numbered 1 through 4. There were 4 unique pieces on this drop pod. That's it. 4. There were 3 sprues for the total of 2 drop pods. Now this one, if you look at this one, there's essentially like most of a sprue full of little rocks and stuff to put around the base of the doors. And you see how they just glue on like the bottom there. That's all they do. And this is also, it's the bottom of it's garbage. Like there's no point in detailed sculpts on that. So this, just the base drop pod, there are 4 pieces. All right, 4 unique pieces. One piece is this whole thing minus part of this door. That's the second piece, is part of this door. That's 2 pieces. This whole part and then this. Part number 3 is this middle piece in here. Right here, this whole thing, that's one piece. That was piece number 3. And then piece number 4 were the 5 fins. They were all numbered 4. And then these 2 were identical. They had the same numbers. It doesn't matter which one went to which. The doors come all the way into the middle here, and they fit together. You can see there's a little bit of a seam line there. But you put all of this together, and then you just shove it on top of the piece number 1. There's your 4 pieces. Movable doors are easier for transporting. Yeah, I think it's slightly easier for transporting. Honestly, like, this takes up a little more vertical room, but if I can just set it down like this, like, I'm gonna need basically this kind of space, like this height anyway, or like close to its width. I'm not concerned about it. Like I said, I'll bring one of these at a time, maybe, unless it's a big game and I'll bring multiples, but it's not an issue for me. The top where the pylons meet that engine. Oh, up here, yeah, was the issue. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the two that are cheaper. Yeah, it's like buy one, get one 70% off is basically what it was. So that's what I did. They dropped the coolest thing and Feep's so underutilized. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Night Trap on YouTube over here? Ninja was free floating. Yeah, so they never lined up. Yeah. So this was free floating, but they hook all the way around it. So it traps it in basically on 3 sides. And what I did was I glued in the 5 doors up here, and then I glued in here and made sure they all fit and were like flush against each other. And then yeah, you seriously just push this thing down. You just like stamp it down on there, and it's good. My big issue with this, I also need to do a little bit of filling, and I'm going to do a little bit of trimming around here. It's just some, yeah, I'll get some of the mold lines trimmed. But you're supposed to put, oh, I did sand in the middle, right in these little spots right there. There's an Aquila. I sanded those off on both of them because, you know, screw that. We're Trader Legion Astartes. And also here, you're supposed to put an icon. And they have Aquilas, they have Ultramarine U's, they have Black Templar symbols, Imperial Fist, Raven Guard. They have a ton of different symbols that go here. None of them are Thousand Suns, and none of them work for me. So what I'm going to do is just fill that in, and then maybe put a transfer there or something. I don't know what I'll do right there. But I'm going to fill that in with some green stuff that we'll get together here in a little bit. My biggest issue with this mini is going to be painting it. I'll rarely take it to places. Yeah. They don't have a ton of use in 30. They have good use in 30K. You just don't use a lot of them. There's no more full drop pod armies. It doesn't exist in Heresy at the moment. So, yeah. Painting the interior, Ghost Hawks. You're right. That's like one of the big issues. What I need to do, and with my paint job on my Thousand Suns, I have to be very particular. And my steps for painting this, I'm going to put it on something where I can hold it. I don't have to hold the mini. I could just like do this like ice cream cone kind of thing. I need to prime the whole mini. I need to airbrush my gold. Then I need to do my clear red, and I'm going to put clear red on the fins. Not this part of the fin, but all of this part. So on all 5 of these fins on both sides, I need to do clear red. I think I'm going to keep these silver, these parts silver on the doors, because I think it would be these bottom panels that would be red. Bottom panels that would be red, not these parts. So that'll be silver, but I have to do the red. Then what has to happen is that has to cure for 24 hours, because that's what my clear red paint has to do. Then I need to varnish everything. So I need to gloss varnish all of that. Then I have to tape it. So I have to tape off all of these door panels. And then I'm going to go through and spray silver on everything else. Because the majority of this model is going to be painted silver. So I need to spray it silver. Then when that's done, I'm going to take the tape off. I'm going to spray a matte varnish on everything. There's no sub-assembly with this. It's 4 pieces. So I couldn't sub-assemble this one. I'd have to do the same steps just on more pieces. And then I'll continue on my paint job. The fins here, right here, are going to be white. And then I might do some bronze or gold on this like inlay right here. And then we'll see about like padding and stuff, but for the most part, it's going to be silver and red, and then some white. And then I have to paint the terrain down here. Yeah, thank you, John Lockridge. Yes, Thousand Suns aren't traitors. They were betrayed when Big E told his guard dogs to bite their dad's face off. Yep. Yeah. Thousand Suns are not traitors by choice, right? Matt Varnish. I know, who is that guy? Who's this Matt Varnish? 90% were Space Wolf raccoon skulls. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know that, but Space Wolves, all the minis, they have the skulls all over them and stuff. Those are actually raccoon skulls. So, fun aside to make Space Wolves look more like losers. They're killing raccoons and saying they're wolves. Yeah, Chaos don't have access to a drop pod in 40k. That's why you should just play Heresy. It's the cooler game. Anyway. You got some Plague Marines done, Night Trap. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Ghost, I'll just talk about the pieces. It's 4 different pieces, but it's 9 pieces total. This whole thing was 9 pieces. I assembled both of these, rocks included, in about an hour and 20 minutes. So, that's all it took. They kill trash pandas. Yeah. That's all they're doing. How do we do this? Would the sanding work better? Yep. So the difference between a raccoon skull and a wolf skull look very similar. The difference is the back of the skull of a raccoon is flat, and a wolf skull has a ridge. It looks almost like a little fin at the top of its head. And if you look at the Space Wolf skulls, none of them have that ridge. Be attacked by giants with leather furry masks to look more like a wolf, yeah. Anthony, welcome in. Welcome in.
Look at me!
When do we drop out kit for my salamanders? 2 10-man Infernus with librarians. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Where am I looking? Where am I looking, Anthony? What size raccoons are we dealing? I mean, they're not huge raccoons. It's not like those skulls are giant. Raccoons are definitely smarter than wolves. Oh yeah, continuing on the Eldar. Man, that's such a cool like color scheme. Wow, great job with the lighting on that. I love it. Good stuff. Man, that like yellow like sunrise colors with the green. It's fantastic. Great stuff, Anthony. Great stuff. Sears facing into a sunrise. That's really cool. Really well done. That's a fantastic looking mini. Wonderful plastic screeching sounds. You guys are welcome. Yeah, their hands. Yeah, raccoon hands are... Yeah, they got opposable thumbs. Very intelligent creatures. Okay, so the Space Wolves are killing giant space raccoons. They're still calling themselves Space Wolves. And while I think there's an argument that can be made that long-term raccoons are a bigger threat than wolves, it's still way less cool to be killing raccoons. And you know, space raccoons or space trash pandas aren't exactly as catchy. Long-term raccoons, yeah. You can have that one, free of charge. We're going to get to some Oldhammer in a little bit, guys. I'm going to sand these down. We'll do that. In the dark future, wolves and raccoons have become one intermixed species. I think there are some people that definitely want that to happen. Stomach. Yeah. Being a space wolf would be horrifying. I agree. One thing I do know about this kit is this kit is made in China. Normally Games Workshop doesn't make minis in China. But they do make terrain kits in China. And this one, they consider terrain. For some reason. Yeah. That is why they sell it cheaper. I think that's totally necessary. Alright, let's get this other one. We can get the tops on these. It's going to be loud and annoying. Steel Jacks accidentally built the sergeant out of one. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, it doesn't have like the back thing, right? You just cut and glue, you're fine. John, you should know there are no mistakes. Only happy accidents. Especially with plastic minis, you can always fix that pretty easily. Okay. There's a hole in the back of the... Yeah. Just, you know what you do? You just slice the nub off the... off the back thing. Fine for you. Excessive. I'm sure you'll figure out something to do. It's not the end of the world. So, as far as this whole Oldhammer thing goes, where are we dropping? Right onto Scarif. I'm gonna take these guys off. I'm gonna end up breaking something on them. Get my Seekers off the table. Get you off the table. Going right to Istvan with these drop pods. I'm going to be playing a 5th edition 40k game this evening. So, last night... Oh, yeah. Plastic dust. Don't breathe this, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna bring back some old school and play some 5th edition 40k. And I'm going to be breaking out the Dark Eldar. So I'm really excited about that. I loved playing my Dark Eldar in 5th edition. Break out the Dio. No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But I got my codex out. And I built a list. And I need to get my minis out for my list. And I'll explain to you guys what I'm bringing. But I'll show you guys some of my Dark Eldar codex. I forgot that the 5th edition Dark Eldar codex had Asdrubal Vect, had rules for him. I don't think I ever once fielded him. I never owned his old mini. But I completely forgot there were actual rules for him. So, I was very much a Duke Sliskus and Baron Sathanix enjoyer. You guys what I got. I also do have an old Rogue Trader mini that I could paint sometime in some Thousand Suns colors. I think it'd be great. Okay, almost done. Yeah, just two more here. Never played 5th? Kind of a baby to the hobby. Hey, that's fine. Most people at this point haven't played 5th. 5th edition was my favorite edition, though. Yeah, I still have a lot. I have a lot of the codexes from 5th edition. Just a lot of them in general that released. What I can't seem to find is my 5th edition rulebook. I feel like would be important, but... Piling this model down under. What? No, underdone. I get it. 5th edition is the best edition. Yeah. Yep. I think there's something to be said about 6th edition. Playing 6th edition codexes in 7th edition. Wahapedi, I don't believe, has 5th edition rules. I think it only goes back to like 7th or 8th Hero Week. Yeah. Alright. Good old plastic dust in the lungs. Keep you strong and healthy. A plate of 10th? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. My draw. Okay. So, let me show you guys what I got here. Let's get some of these things away. Here's my Codex Dark Eldar here. Look at that. Gorgeous artwork. Classic. This was in 2010 when this came out. This was when the Dark Eldar got their revamp, which is now 16 years old, which is terrifying. But, yeah, Wahapedi only goes to 7th. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you, RD. I appreciate that. Welcome in, by the way. Welcome in. Yeah, paperback codex. Oh, yeah, that Mandrake artwork. That's sick, isn't it? Look at that artwork. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah. So, just flipping through here. There's a lot. This is when they had like good lore in the codexes and everything. This was all new lore too. It was crazy. Absolute crazy lore. Classic John Blanche. John Blanche did artwork for this with the new style of everything, which was great. Okay. The power from pain rule for Dark Eldar. Here's how it worked. Let me explain this. Cameras. I know I can't zoom out anymore. This is as far as my camera zooms with this lens. The way this rule worked was your units start with no pain tokens. But every time a unit killed another unit, and I believe, yeah, when it destroys a non-vehicle enemy unit, they get a token, a pain token. The first pain token gives them feel no pain. If they have 2 pain tokens, it gives them Furious Charge. 3 pain tokens, they get Fearless. And that's what they get. A chill after a long day of work. Yeah, sweet. What are you painting, RD? Also, the combat drugs. You rolled 1 die at the start of the game, and all your units got that ability. That's all combat drugs did. Poison was also a lot better. But Kabalites, Witches... Yeah, so we got all the units in here. Just like everything. Drazar, it was funny. Drazar has this artwork, which is very close to his current mini that I actually have. I have right here. I never quite finished his base, but yeah, he's really, really similar to this mini. But he didn't get a mini release here for like another 10 years, 11 years, something like that. Lady Malice is in here. She actually made a return, right? This was her first time getting rules. Urian Rakarth, Asdrubal Vect, the Supreme Overlord of Kimura. Yep. And you get his Dice of Destruction. All these weapons. All kinds of crazy stuff. So, yeah, the classic artwork. And this was also before the Venom and the Scourges had a mini. Anything like that. So no dumb stratagems. Yeah, and then these are your profiles. Like, this is how you build an army. So Asdrubal Vect, that is his whole like data sheet, whatever you want to call it. That's it. His special rules are on his other page. That's it. There's Lady Malice, Drazar, Lilith. Those are the classics here. You got Urian Rakarth, the Duke Sliskus, the Serpent, my man. Karadrock, yeah. Yeah, they were here, but they didn't have models yet. The models didn't come out until like it was like May of the next year, April or May of the year after. So this was October of 2010 when this came out. The Archon and the Court of the Archon. Yeah, the Duke and the Baron. Duke Sliskus and Baron Sathanix are my favorite. The Miserations, yeah, thanks, thank you. Painting Chaos Knight War Dogs. Oh, cool. All right. 14 of them with 60 plus. Good luck on that. All those magnetized weapons. Crazy. Yeah. So I bought in really heavy when this book came out. I got everything I could. And then the next wave came out and I bought a ton of that stuff. I think the Hellions are out. So like you can look through here on the artwork or on the mini pictures. They're very limited. There's the metal incubi that came out. Witches, warriors, Hellions, reavers, raiders, ravagers. That's Urian Rakarth, I believe. Got a mini. Lilith Hesprax got her metal mini. That one looks way better than the current one in my opinion. It was the metal Archon mini that came with this pose. He came with the Husk Blade and the Soul Trap, but his arms were in such a way where you could outfit him with any of the warrior weapons, the plastic warrior weapons, or the back pieces, because they had all those like back piece banners and everything. As plays Drukhari, seemingly can't decide if they're incredibly strong or weak in 10th edition. I think they're pretty weak overall, but no, you can do well with them. They're fun. That's the thing. They're just shenanigans. That's the whole army. Yeah, the Webway portal was really cool. So, yeah, there's bikes. You had the metal mandrakes here, which are still gorgeous minis. I have 10 of these. The Webway portal, how that worked, and you can see the Archon was like the 60 point like blank canvas. He came with crappy armor, crappy weapon, crappy pistol, crappy grenades, and then you can just outfit him with a ton of different stuff. The Webway portal, what this Webway portal did was it was a 3-inch template, and you would throw it like a grenade within 6 inches of yourself, and it would stay there the whole battle. You didn't move it. There was no like a way to destroy it, and all it was is it counted as a board edge for models coming in from reserve. So the idea was you run up the board the first turn, you deploy, you throw the Webway portal out, and then you have a bunch of reserves, and your units come on from that point, and they just like flood the field like right in the enemy's face, and you can charge out of reserves and everything. So that was the whole idea. Rules for models that don't exist, yeah. Drukhari, they had it really good in 5th edition, and then it's gone downhill every single other edition, RD. Every other edition. Homunculi. Yeah, so there are 2 homunculi. There's Homunculus Ancient and Homunculus, which was cool. Incubi, Racks, Mandrakes, Harlequins have rules in this book. Yeah, the Cabalite Trueborn and the Hecatrix Blood Brides, like the elite units. You got Witches and Cabalite Warriors. Hellion Scourges, Beastmasters, which no longer exist. Reavers, Raider, Venom. The vehicle equipment. So the Raider... You guys see all this equipment the Raider can get? Look at this. Let me get this over in the right place. All right. This is a Raider, and these are all the things you can give the Raider for points. A Shock Prow helps you when you ram enemy vehicles. The Tormentor Grenade Launcher subtracts leadership from models near it. Enhanced Aether Sails give you 2d6 extra movement. Retrofire Jets let you deep strike. Chain Snares, when you fly over enemy units, you just do hits to them. Like all the enemy units you fly over, you're catching them on like chains and hooks. The Grizzly Trophies did something, I don't remember what they do. Envenom Blades did a similar thing. I think they, Envenom Blades, they do damage to enemies when they try to hit you in melee. Splinter Axe give you rerolls to hit on all splinter weapons on board the Raider. Night Shields counted enemy weapons as 6 inches, or their range 6 inches less when they target you. And then Flicker Field gave you a 5-up invuln. Just crazy. Yeah, these 3 were the best to take on the Raider. The Splinter Axe, Night Shields, Flicker Fields. The Venoms came with the Flicker Fields. They came with the 5-up invuln, but you could give them most of these other things, which was cool. What else do we got? Ravager, Talos, Kronos, Razorwing, Void Raven. None of these had models. This one didn't have models for 2 more editions. The Void Raven. This one got it in that wave 2. Same with the Talos. They were a wave 2 mini. And then, yeah, and then you get this nice... They always did this in the back of codexes. You had a reference. So it was a summary. Had all of the weapon rules that you would use. All the unique weapons. You had the vehicle stats, and then all the unit profiles. Including, like, unit sergeants and stuff. So they did all of that, which was great. It sounded like Reavers from Firefly? Oh, okay. I've never seen Firefly. And everybody's always like, you gotta see Firefly. So they might be rebooting or something. But yeah, so I am making an army. I'm going to be playing these guys tonight. Shockprow, Night Shields, and Splinter Axe. Yeah, those are good ones. The Shockprow is so much fun to use. Why do Archons avoid committee meetings? Too many opinions, not enough opportunities for secession planning. Yeah. So I wrote an army list out, and I had to do it old school here. So pen and paper, baby. Dark Eldar 5th edition, 1500 points, blah blah blah. I want to get these models out, and I want to make sure I have everything and things aren't broken. So I'm going to go through this army list, and I have my box of minis here. Here's my Archon. Painted this bad boy back in 2010. Metal Mini. Good stuff. So the basing, I'm a little too hard on the super glue and flock. But that guy. Let's see what's next here. I have a whole box, and I kind of shoved them on here. I had to move this stuff real quick last year and was never able to put them back out. But let's get them out. Okay, so something I have. I think I have 12 Reaver jet bikes in my army, and these are my Reaver jet bikes. So again, I painted these things 16 years ago almost. Yeah, I played, when I did tournaments at 5th edition, I played 2,000 point games. I don't think I ever played a 15 or 1750. Yeah, boards are 6x4 like Modern Heresy. So here, let's put all my bikes out here. I should have 12 of them painted. Let's see. 4, 5, 6. I'll make sure everybody's together too. That's 6 bikes. There's 7. I had 24 of these at one point. 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. Okay. Yep. 12 bikes. There we go. Right in the screen. There's all 12 of them, all painted. 12 bikes. All the turns I went to were 1750. Yeah. Well, for a long time before that, 40k was a 1500 point game. And I think what people decided was they wanted to play bigger than 1500, but 2000 seemed like a stretch. Even though 2000 was very much like a friendly point value game to play. But yeah, I went to quite a few tournaments with my Dark Eldar back in 5th edition. They were always 2,000 points. So playing 1,500 seems even a little limiting, bringing these minis. Crisp blue details. Yeah, thank you. This was, what was this color? Ice? No, not ice blue. Maybe it was ice blue. Anyway, the next thing I had were Hellions. So these are my Hellions. And what I did with these was I kept some of the blue details on them. And then I used red as like to mark their boards. So I put like essentially like personalized markings on their boards, because all these dudes are like gangers. Like they're all just like gang members. And there's the Agonizer here. I did lightning effects on it. But again, old minis here. I'm running all 15 of these that I own. And they're dusty. Oh my goodness, they're so dusty. No, Overwatch. No. Yeah, 6th edition. Did they have Overwatch in 5th? Yeah, maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't in 5th edition. 6th edition, I think, maybe might be where they introduced it. Here's another one. Man, I love these minis. They're so good looking. I hated them when I first saw them. I thought they were ridiculous looking. But no, they're sweet. They are the ones you still buy today. Yep. So yeah, more personalized markings on the boards. My goal for the army that I'm bringing this evening is everything is flying or in a flying transport. Because in my opinion, that is the most fun way to play Dark Eldar. Overwatch, Jink, and other abilities added later. There was a Jink in 5th for like bikes and stuff. I think that was in 5th edition, because I actually have rules in my army that are made for like jinks and stuff. I mixed in witch parts, so that's like a witch knife, going with that mini, which is really cool. Also, a neat detail is they're hooked into their bikes. They actually have like a hook, like a harness that they wear that hooks them into the bike, which is great. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of them. Where? Oh, there he is. Okay. Sweet. Oh, they're all together too. Number 14. And then I took a unit of 14. And then what I did was I made a unique guy here. This is my Baron Sathanix. So this is my other HQ I'm bringing in this army. And Baron Sathanix is like the King Hellion. Cow, that dude's dusty. Oh my goodness. So I just gave him an old Marauder cape. And I think it gave him some like witch equipment on the back. Like he's got like a little sheath for his knife. And he's got the extra little gubbins on his board here. But this was my Baron Sathanix. So he buffs up Hellion squad he's with. And he actually lets you reroll something with either going first or choosing the board edge or something like that. But yep, he leads my 14 Hellions. So Hellions, 2 units of bikes. Those are my 3. Well, they're actually troops when he's in your army, so they became troops, which is really cool. I got my Archon. So what else do I have? Archon, Sathanix, my 5 Incubi. Are they kind of buried? They might be. Oh, there they are. Okay, let's get out some Incubi. So, old metal Incubi here. Never had flying models in 40k until I started my Tau army. The base for the flying models threw me. Thought I was missing bases. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, like these things? Yeah. Yeah, with your drones, is that what you had? Okay, I'm taking 5 Incubi. And again, these are the metal ones here. One here. There's number 4, and here's number 5. So 5 Incubi to run around with my Archon. That'll be cool. Some other minis in here. So I do have here's a homunculus I painted a couple years ago. It wasn't that too long ago. But he's, I'm not taking him. I also have another, this is an Archon that I made with a warrior sculpt and some other pieces. And another one of those Marauder capes. I like those Marauder capes a lot. This guy was my Baron Sathanix. He had a blast pistol and he had a pair of venom blades. I gave him an extra knife. This is what I did. But he's got like all kinds of cool. Everybody called him David Bowie in space. Because he's just like this crazy eccentric dude that like carves poetries into his like victims' backs and stuff. Like he just does stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm not bringing him, but he is cool. I also do have, this is my Razor Wing. Again, very dusty. But I did love my Razor Wing jet fighter. So, oh, so everything's so dusty. Look at that. Look at that dust. Oh my goodness, these models have been sitting for too long. Let's get you out of here. Okay. Next thing I need are my Cabalites. So I have a whole bunch of Cabalite Warriors. I gotta be careful. Everything's like just shoved in a box here. I have 20 of them. There's one of my splinter cannons here. Clean your stuff. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I did make a unit of Cabalites using Dark Elf Corsairs because they had these cool capes, the dragon cloaks that they had, and they make excellent Dark Eldar Cabalite warriors. Maybe I do one of those for a squad. I don't know if I have all 10 of those painted. I'll have to look it up. But I gave them like red hair and gave them like different stuff. They were actually, when 6th edition came out, is when the ally matrix came out. You're allowed to ally units. So I used those as Eldar Rangers. Oh, I painted that with a red cloak because it seemed cool. But and then I made a Farseer that was like a Dark Eldar Farseer. I'll pull him out here in a minute. I'll show you. Here's my Farseer. Here we go. It was a Chaos Sorcerer mini. This was the Farseer I made. So these were the allies to my Dark Eldar for 6th edition that I made. Okay, let's keep getting minis here. So many random things in the pile. Like I said, I had a situation last year to pack stuff up and move it real quick. I never unpacked them. How many we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, looking for 5 more. This was the base for my my jet. There we go. 15, 16, and 17. Where are the rest of you guys? Ah, there's 18. That guy looks cool. I gave him a white helmet. He's throwing a grenade. Great looking me. What's up, Blue? What's up? 19. How you doing, Avelios? I'm getting minis out. That's what I'm doing. Ah, there he is. Alright, I knew I had another splinter cannon in here. Oh, there's the other splinter cannon. Okay, there's my 20 warriors. Alright. What is next, I believe? Let me see. My 2 units of Cabalites, I got my Incubi, I got the Reavers. Okay, I need a Ravager, 2 Raiders, and a Venom. And I think that's it for my army. So, some of those are in a separate box I'll have to get out. But I did. Even back in 2010, I was magnetizing minis. So the gunner on this Raider is magnetized. I don't know why I'd never glued that in, but I guess it stopped it from breaking. So, where is its sail? There's the sail on this thing. Also magnetized. There's a Raider. Now, how well does it sit? Ooh, that one sits pretty snug. Okay. Alright. We got a Raider. Avelos, I'm breaking these minis out after, like, a very long time. They're very dusty. Okay. Another favorite unit of mine is the Scourges. I love these Scourge minis, and I love them as, like, a unit and a model, and their lore is great. I had tried a few different things painting the wings over the years, and I was never quite happy. I always wanted like bright, like angelic wings. I thought that was a good contrast to like everything that the Dark Eldar were. But then like these wings looked pretty good as well. I didn't like them with the deep colored wings, like they would paint them. But then I'd have like this guy right here is the bat wings. So really cool minis. I do really like Scourges. I have tons of them. I have like 30 Scourges. Okay, so let me pack that back up. I'm gonna get out these other flying bases here just in case I need them. Yeah, I also have, I'll show you guys. Ugh. These minis are just kind of piled on each other. Over there. This is one of my Talos. I loved painting these minis. This mini was a blast to paint. I had one, and then I have... come here. They're all stuck on each other. Here's my other one. That I wanted to be different, so I gave him like the weird little squiggle, like Kronos legs, basically. But Talos and Talos. Cool minis. This is Painting Dad painting 15 years ago. Okay. So let's set that up. Now what I need to get, I have another box I forgot I had. This seemed like a pretty small box for what I had here as well. Put them all Dark Lances. Love the idea of flying sniper aesthetic. The Dark Lances I got were slightly smaller and it bothers me. Oh, weird. Okay. Huh. Like the actual Scourge Dark Lances were smaller. Alright, give me 1 minute, I'll be back, guys. One moment. Alright, we're back. That was easy. I still don't think this is all of my Dark Eldar stuff. Holy crap, everything's so dusty. Alright. Venom, look how dusty that is. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, do like a once over with my airbrush. Just like empty airbrush on these. So Venom. And I glued these into the bases. I wasn't going to bother with those. I'll do another Venom here with a clear windshield. No, I'm just using one Venom. That's right. That's right. Just one Venom. Oh, the prints. Okay, okay. You had prints for yours. Gotcha. Alright, let's check out whips here. 1 second. 1 second. I got another Raider here. Oh yeah, that's a nice snug one too. And then magnetized. What? Oh, nice. Okay. Chaos Rhino. Love it. Love it. So spiky. The guy with the pintle mount on top, he looks cramped up there, but that's great. Oh, and the Thousand Suns head on is perfect. Yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. I love it. Love it. Yeah, you got all kinds of stuff. Good deal. Good deal. Demon, that's awesome. Okay. And last but not least, again, I didn't yeah, that one is magnetized. Okay. Dang. Yeah, they're all magnetized. Man, I was so good at this. Alright. How does this guy go on his base? He doesn't want to sit in there, does he? These ones are hard to pop in. just squeaking on me. Let's try the other one. Boom, change it up. Not my Dark Eldar having random cobwebs on them. Definitely not my minis. I take care of my minis. Ooh, that one popped in. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it sits, or it stands. Ooh, okay. Is that 1,500 points of Dark Eldar? Let's take a quick inventory here. Okay, let's do that. I have my army list. Finish the Infernal Master. Now just building it. Now just build. Yeah. These characters are quick to assemble. Yeah, I assembled a character at the start of stream. Okay, Culture American. Chill. As a quick inventory. Okay. We have our Archon. Archon do no good. That's their name. We have Baron Sathanix. And Avelis is going to see my list ahead of time. And so he's going to counter me. That's what he's going to do. He's going to build to counter my list. So I got Baron Sathanix. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Incubi. And these are the old metal ones, guys. Let's talk about old metal Incubi. Okay, and they all go in a Venom. So we got a Venom here. Good stuff. Next, I have a unit of 10 Kabalite Warriors, which are all down here. Let's just separate these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we'll take the Splinter Cannon. 10. Okay. 10 yeah, he's known. He's a known counter lister. Yeah. Okay, and they all go in a Raider. I have a Raider here. Then I have another unit of 10 Kabalite Warriors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with a Splinter Cannon. Cool. And they're going in their own Raider. Good stuff. Okay, and then I have 2 units of 6 Reaver jet bikes. So here's my Reavers. I got 2 units of 6 of them. And it's a total of 12. And they just have an arena champion. And then I have an additional 14 Hellions in one squad. It's one big blob of Hellions. So we got them. And then I have a Ravager with 3 Dark Lances. So here's my Ravager. That dude's pointing in a little bit. Let's keep pointing out. Man, I love these minis. So good. It's got like the Venom Blades or whatever. They're made when people try to attack your thing. They just take hits. But they roll a 1 to hit. They just take a hit themselves. It's great. That's a shock prow. No, that's not the shock prow. I have the shock prow on one of them, but that is one of the prows that they used to ram people. So these guys retired their new versions. Okay, so the only minis here that have updated versions, the only ones are the Incubi. So these have updated minis, which are mildly better. They're plastic. That's what makes them better. These are metal. These have updated minis. And then this Archon has had 2 updated minis. I still like this one the best. But the newest one seems pretty good. The one in between was terrible. The guy with the folded arms across his chest. But those are the only minis that have been updated over the past almost 16 years. Everything else is still current. But yeah, we got the whole 1,500 points. So that is excellent. And I am feeling good about that. Let me set these minis down somewhere. Get them all out of the way. No, I don't like the Dracula pose. I do not. I do have one of those minis on sprue. That someone just gave me. I did a commission of assembling a bunch of Dark Eldar. There was a couple combat patrols and a couple things. And the person was literally like, yeah, and assemble the Archon like this. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, you got 3 Archons from this, because it was like 3 combat patrols, I think. And he's like, nah, just keep the other ones. He's like, I don't want them. I was like, okay, all right. Just straight up, like, just dropping them. Okay, get these minis over. So the idea, everything in my army is on a flying stand at the start of the game. That's how I play Dark Eldar. Is you move quick. Evelios. This is a good question to ask you. What does stealth do in 5th edition? Also, I know we talked about playing the mission with night fighting, with potential night fighting. What does night vision do? Because my whole army has night vision. We are Dark Eldar, by the way. I was reading through the codex last night and I was like, oh. I'll get you guys over here. I will have room on my box lid. Is stealth +1 to cover saves? And 5th edition Warhammer 40k. That's the question. It might be +1 to cover saves, but I don't like. What is it that has stealth? Let me look in my book here. Who has the old stealth? Is it the Venoms that have stealth? Maybe. It must have been, is it Baron Sathanix? Is that the dude that has stealth? Let's see. Yeah, I think he has stealth. Night vision to max range instead of 3d6. Okay. Yeah, night vision is you ignore. Okay, cover save +1. All right. So who has the stealth in my army? Someone had it. I think it might have been Baron Sathanix here. Let's see. Yep, yeah, he gets stealth on him and his unit. So, that's what he does. Cool. Cool, alright. Hellion Death Star for the win here. You act normally the whole game even when night fighting's active. Yeah, so night fighting literally just helps me. Yeah. So, okay, question then. So the 5th edition experts in here. When you say it's 3d6 max range, does that say the max range of your weapon is 3d6 inches, or you can only target units within 3d6 inches? Because I have upgrades for my vehicles that reduces the max range of weapons by 6 inches. Night vision is a reroll distance test in 5th. Okay. It talks about it somewhere up here. Which is not bad. It's not bad to have some max range on your shooting. Yeah, I can't find my 5th edition rulebook. I was looking for it this morning, couldn't find it. All my jet bikes. Oh, searchlights. Yeah, searchlights are the thing, that's right. Yeah, I have the mini rulebook and can't find it. So, I found my 4th and my 6th edition rulebooks. And I have my 3rd edition rulebook. And I think I have a 7th edition rulebook. I can't find my 5th. Hey, Blue, I see that librarian. Looking good, dude. Looking good. Yeah, Tao, go sit down. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, send me a picture. Okay. All right, let's read about night fighting here. Yeah, I love you did the classic, like, the blue lights on the inside. You did a really good job with that. Oh, and his glowing eyes and stuff, and a solid work. Alright, what's this rule? Much harder accurate, okay. After selecting a target before the unit fires, a check needs to be made to see if they can clearly spot the target. Roll 2d6 and multiply the result by 3. Then measure the distance between the two units. If the distance between the firing units and their target is higher than the total rolled, the unit cannot fire in this shooting phase as they search in the dark for a target that never appears. Barrage and ordnance weapons can still fire to target in the dark, but if they fail to roll a hit, they add an extra d6 to the distance scattered. This is also a time, I think, when blast weapons, you didn't roll to hit first, you just put the template down and then you rolled your scatter. Yeah, 36 max range. It was 2d6 times 3. Yeah, 2d6 times 3. And then what is night vision then? Is night vision just ignoring? Night vision is just your reroll? Is that what it is? Yeah, you scattered, and I don't think 5th had guessing weapons though. You couldn't pre-measure though. No, pre-measuring was not allowed in 5th edition. So you would choose your target, then you would measure your range, and if you were out of range, you could not shoot. Like, that was essentially like the way the game worked. Same with charging. Charging in 40k at the time, it was just 6 inches. Flat 6 inches assault range. But you had to declare your target before you measured. Was pre-measuring fine after gas weapons in 5th? Reroll the test. Must use a second roll? Okay, no, that's cool. That's cool. Can you measure before you reroll? That's a question. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Assaulting was always 6 inches, so 6-inch charge. If you failed, you failed. Like if you were out of range, too bad. You were donezo. That was it. So. Yeah, I'll definitely take some pictures with my dusty minis tonight. Get these going. Probably targeting the closest unit anyway. If they're out of range, out of luck. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. A better time to me. Yeah, that's true. No, the old school 40, or yeah, old school 40K is great. I'm excited. We played, it was sometime last year, like was that like last summer or something? We played a game of 5th edition. I used my my Thousand Suns as just normal Space Marines, and it worked pretty well. I got wrecked, but I also I didn't have any heavy weapons on my tactical Marines, and the heavy weapons are free, so melee chargers couldn't disembark and charge, so they sat behind rhinos for a turn. But Laughs and Dark Eldar, unless open topped. Yeah, all of my stuff is open topped. Witches with haywires were good. Yeah, haywire grenades were great. Yeah, it was and even during 5th. Hold on, let me grab this. I'll show you guys. You guys want to hear a really, really cheesy strat with Dark Eldar. This was the ungentlemanly thing to do. So, you have a raider. Okay, here's my raider. I deploy my raider. The deployment edge is right here. I deploy my raider right against the line. Okay, so here's the line. Here's the raider. Bumps up against it like this. All right, turn 1. You can turn your mini for free. Turn it on the spot from the middle. So I turn. Get out of here, Reavers. Let me try this. See if I can do it. So I have this right here. I turn my raider, and I get an extra 3 inches of movement, and then I move my raider its full distance, and then I disembark, and then I charge because it's open topped. So a turn 1 charge, I can't remember the actual threat range. It was you disembark 2 or 3 inches after that. It was a 20-inch threat range or something that was really good. And you could get turn 1 charges in certain scenarios with certain deployments. But the whole deploy sideways and then turn and move was the way to get extra distance on your minis, taking advantage of GW's rules. Yeah, Witch Cult armies are cool. I'm a huge fan of bikes. One thing over the years with jet bikes is the Reaver jet bikes is they have gone down in points a lot. So they were 22 points in 5th edition, which everything's gone down in points. Armies are way bigger than they were. I did read my army to you guys, right? I have 40 minis, and they're a bunch of 1 wound minis. But that's rules lawyering. Yeah, that's when forums were here's the meta. That came back at 10. That's true. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Counted the opposite. You deploy the infantry gun line, sit behind Devilfish till they could still shoot but denied return fire. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was that the old the Fish of Fury list, right? Was that the archetype? The list archetypes are great. Parking lots. What was the Eldar one that everybody hated? The Knob Bikers were the true menace of the edition. The freaking Grey Knights and their dumb Paladin Terminators were probably the worst thing. Space Wolves had a psych. This is where my hate for Space Wolves started in 5th edition, guys. Their codex, unfortunately written by the same guy that wrote the Dark Eldar Codex, Phil Kelly. That's when they started with all their wolf things, wolf this, wolf that. But they had a psychic ability called Jaws of the World Wolf. And what it would do, you would take your psychic test, which is a leadership test. and you're always like leadership 10. So you just 2d6 get a 10 or less. It's gonna happen 95% of the time. You roll. If you succeed, you draw a straight line from your psyker 18 inches to any point you want. And any model touched by that line, they take an initiative test, I think. They're trying to dodge the line. They take an initiative test. If they fail, they're removed from play. Just out. Like, not instant death. There's no, like, hey, you take all these wounds. There's no, you take a save, you take an invuln save. It's no. The model is removed from play if they fail an initiative test. And that was it. Just an 18-inch line from your rune priest or whatever. And man, my buddy Killicam would do that so much against our Tyranid player. He'd be like, yeah, okay. He's like, man, taking 6 card effects and 2 hive turns are the way to play this game. And then Cam would just roll up with his freaking rune priest and just kill like 6 card effects in in one like movement phase. Yeah. Yeah, Dark Eldar Venom spam. Yeah, when the Venoms came out. I was never a fan of Venom spam. I have 3 of them. I might have a 4th one that's unpainted, but I never did like the 8 or 9 Venoms that a lot of people would do. I can see it though. 5 warriors with a blaster, and that's it. It's dirt cheap. It's like 110 points for that combo. You could take so many. You could take 6 of those as your 6 troop choices, and you have tons of points for extra things. Rerolling poison shots. How would they reroll the poison shots? I know the Raiders have the splinter racks that give them twin linked. The Venoms didn't have that, but the double splinter cannon's really good anyway. Yeah, Gene Stealer spam is yeah. I don't know, man. I was never terribly impressed with Gene Stealer spam, but again, I had one regular Tyranid player, and I played in a tournament with my Dark Eldar. It may have been the first tournament I went to. I can't remember if it was the first ever tournament. It was like 50 people at this tournament. I was the only Dark Eldar player. And I remember specifically there was one Tyranid player. And this was before like organized play was a thing. It was before there were apps and systems that could help you. So you just pair with random people every round. I remember my round 3 I paired with the Tyranid player, and I remember like, we met each other, shook each other's hands. I saw him pulling Tyranids out, and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. And yeah, the game was over by like turn 3. It was bad. He had a gorgeous army, but yeah. Been some Raider units for the rerolls? Yeah, it was the Raiders got the splinter racks on them. Yeah. Tournaments are playing at bowling ball. Yeah. Yep. Being TS, what is like Thousand Suns? Double wounds and 4++ were decimated. Oh yeah. That was Thousand Suns, wasn't it? Yeah. I shared some pictures before from some tournament games I went to, and I remember I shared them on Discord, and it may have been, it may be like in the after action. Hold on, I gotta look this up. The after action reports. If you probably scroll back, I don't know, 100 years or something. I may have pictures of these tournament games. Yeah, I do, man. All right, it was August 15th, 2024. I shared a picture of this army. It was a tournament, and you look at the table and the terrain on the table. Yeah, the green felt mat. Yeah, it's so good. I still have that mat of my own, the static grass mat. It was such a great piece. But that game I played against the Deep Strike Blood Angels player, and I slaughtered the dude. It felt so good to kill Blood Angels. And I remember he dropped Dante with Sanguinary Guard, and I killed 2 of the Sanguinary Guard, which triggered a panic check. He failed it, and I ended up walking him off the board over the next like 2 turns, because you couldn't you couldn't try to rally if there were enemy units within 6 inches. So I just took a Venom and just sat him next to his squad as they just ran off the board for the rest of the game. His general and like his super elite models felt so good. Yeah, man, August 15th, the old picture. Yeah, there's like no train on the table. Yeah, there's one big piece in the middle and a couple trees and some Tyranid like spires or whatever. That was it. That's so good. Hold on, I'm gonna... Can I reply to my own? Yeah. There we go. All right. It should be at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Thousand's got weapon variety, new kits. You just had bolters. Yeah, they had better AP bolters. Yeah. Yeah, dude, all the poison was so good. Lilith and 9 Blood Brides run into a platoon of guardsmen that were all against the board edge. She killed 12, and the Blood Brides ate half the unit. Oh, that's so good. I love the 5th edition Imperial Guard rules. They're some of my favorite rules. Between having platoons, squadrons of tanks, the lieutenants, all the different lieutenants you could put in your armies, like the named characters. Like was it Al Rahim was the guy's name? He was the Talarn Desert Raider lieutenant, and his whole platoon could come in from outflank, so they could come in on the side of the board like from reserve. Yeah, the good like cavalry were pretty good. All kinds of good stuff in that army. Basically everything but the Bane Blade, because that was just Apocalypse at that point. But yeah, I have that codex. That's one of my favorite codexes. The 4th edition one's pretty good too. It's nowhere near as fun as the 5th edition. But what the 4th edition codexes had was they had they had conscript rules. Yeah, conscript rules were a thing for a long time. Yeah, but the 4th edition one had create your own guard regiment rules, which I know the Space Marine Codex also had that. They had create your own chapter rules where you would choose advantages and disadvantages. So you could choose I think you'd choose up to like 3, maybe it was as many as you want, but for every advantage you chose, you had to choose a disadvantage. And there were like minor and major advantage and disadvantages, and they would kind of inform how you'd play your army. Now, when you would get to a store, and you know how people have always tried to play Warhammer games is be super competitive, you would obviously just choose all the advantages that helped your army, and then you would choose the disadvantages that didn't hurt your army, right? Like, oh no, I can't take bikes. Cool, I'm not bringing bikes anyway. Like that was it. That command squad box I never owned. Always wanted it. It was gorgeous. Yeah. Premium 5th ran Imperial Guard infantry spam. That's so good. Yeah. Yeah, infantry spam for guard was so cool. I get that. I'm all about that. Yeah, my older brother had an Imperial Guard army, and he had about 120 infantry models, and he didn't have many tanks though. But we'd play occasionally. Did a 500-point tournament, 2 qualifying rounds for bracket, then 3 games in your bracket. Nice. That sounds like fun. We had a regular group that would meet every Thursday, and there were, at one point, there were 9 or 10 of us. And it was every Thursday, like afternoon and evening, we'd meet and play 40K. And we would do an apocalypse battle like twice a year, because there was a bunch of young guys. We were like 18 to 20, all of us. So we would meet, and then we'd do an apocalypse battle. We would do one, we would meet on New Year's Day, so after New Year's Eve, but we'd meet New Year's Day, and we would meet in the afternoon and then play all through the night and end at like 7 a.m. after like 3 turns. And then we'd do one in the summer. That was kind of our typical thing. It was great. It's good stuff. So, yeah, crazy memories. It'll be fun. Fun nostalgia trip playing some 5th edition again. Velios. I'm looking forward to it. Did you see there's an Armada tourney? There is an Armada tourney this weekend. Is it out in Dayton or Cincy? I did not see. Well, we got Spill Paint Pot. What's going on? In second of 3 brackets. Finished second, mostly because I went up against Demon players. You had Portal. Yeah, Demons are pretty rough, yeah. And Mavericks and Sensi. Oh, cool. All right. Old one. Okay. So enter 5 rounds with 1,200 kill points. Nice. Yeah. I did a little bit of hobbying today, and I assembled this guy. Ah. Knock things over. I assembled this Phobos librarian I'm going to paint. And take our time, have some fun with it. You know, there is one thing I can do real quick. Let's get out. Here we go. A little bit of green stuff. That's funny though too, Vaughn. Like, what a terrible stroke of luck. Just chill and work on some green stuff while we're chatting. Well, I at least know I have the minis out. I got my list written. I need to find my 5th edition rulebook, but it's also probably not the end of the world if I don't have it. Velios has got his, so I'll be able to play anyway. I think like there's some good games I had. Game Against the Blood Angels was the most memorable one, I think, because being able to kind of trash Dante like that was really nice. You didn't use submission in future tournaments. That's funny. I played against one guy. He was playing Black Templars against my Dark Eldar, and the whole game I was like, this whole game is just nonsense. So his list, he had 2 of the, I think they're called Achilles Land Raiders. Do you guys remember the Achilles Land Raider? It's the Land Raider that has 2 multi-meltas on its sponsons, and then it has a Thunderfire cannon in the middle. And it's armored to where it ignores Lance and Melta. So it's just armor 14, and like you have to have something like strength 9 or 10 to get through it. There's half-price books. 5th, I got a similar type bookstore via the web somewhere. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I have my books. I just don't know I don't know where that particular one is. I feel like last time I played, I ended up setting it somewhere, and then it just got lost to the ether. 2 and 1. He was, yeah. Oh, that's funny too, Vaughn. Yeah. So he had those 2 models, and they were Forge World models. And I remember people literally walking up, seeing his army when he wasn't there, and they were calling it like pay to win and everything because that model was so crazy. His story was he ordered one and they shipped it to him, but he never got it. And he called them or contacted Forge World and said he never got it, so they shipped him another one, like no questions asked. Like, okay, yeah, we see it hasn't been delivered or whatever, so they shipped it. Second one shows up, and then like a week later, the first one showed up. So he got two of them for the price of one. But he would use it. And then we played a game, and the whole terrain on this game, it looked like a Mos Eisley board, like Star Wars, like desert with buildings. But all of the buildings were like this high, and the tops of my sails were sticking out over the buildings. Like this, like just this little bit of my sails. And per the group rules and like how people played is if you could see any part of the mini, you can see the mini, and these sails counted as part of the hull or whatever, I don't know. But he just like from turn one, it was the claim, he could see all of my miniatures from long range across the whole board. I had no way of hiding, and he killed like half my army the first turn because he just blew up all my vehicles turn one, and like that was it. Because I couldn't hide and he paid to win. So yeah, that was super BS. That was probably the most feels bad game I had. I had another one I played against a dude that was using cheater dice. I found out afterwards he was using loaded dice. Yeah, Rage, it was definitely a load of BS. I completely agree. All right. We're gonna make little green stuff nuggets here. I just want to fill in this. Fill in that area, and we don't have to do it exact yet because I can sand that down. Come on, you. Hey, Beanie, what's going on? How are you doing? And thanks for joining. I'm just doing a bunch of random stuff today. I was assembling some minis, but I'm just putting a little bit of green stuff on here. You know, I think it's a good time to switch over to the actual sculpting tool. I was getting an army. I'm going to play some Oldhammer, some 5th edition 40k tonight. So I was getting my old minis out. Just telling old stories, old Warhammer stories. Okay, you know what? Darn green stuff. Yep, yeah, well, it's not that it's not being made anymore. The main manufacturing plant that made green stuff is stopping production. So it didn't make all the green stuff, but yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, tariffs be shutting businesses down. Surprise. Like that makes newer players worried. Arguments that happen to old editions. Really, those arguments were just bad actors. Yeah. Yeah, 40k's come a long way as far as like the social aspect of the game goes. Blast marker is definitely an argument when people are competitive. What's funny is, you know, playing Heresy and you know, using blast markers a bunch. I have never had a blast marker argument with anyone playing Horus Heresy. Not once. Even in like I've been to a couple like tournaments and stuff, and it's never a thing. It's just, hey, look at this. Is this good? Yes or no? Like, how can I move this to cover 4 minis? You know, that kind of thing. And then people do it, and you move on with your day. And like that's literally it. And it's funny that, yeah, they really were such like a contentious thing for so long. Okay, yeah, we're going to fill those in. We'll do it on this other one. Dark Elder even have sales back in the edition? Yeah. Yeah, the third edition ones didn't, but the 5th edition ones did, yeah. So I was just showing had its little sales. There was someone made a little documentary. It was like Tactical Tortoise, I think. Normally not like the biggest fan of his channel, but he had a little documentary about the moment in like Warhammer history that like changed how people play. And it was a big tournament. It may have been Las Vegas Open with like cash money on the line. They used to give a cash prize for it in like 2019 or something. And the semifinal game, a guy forgot to like move a unit, and it would not have affected his shooting phase, but it was already the shooting phase. It was like a big deal for him, and his opponent didn't let him move the unit. It was like, nope, can't do it. You're passed. Too bad. And the judges were like, yeah, it sucks, but yeah, that's the rule. He's right, you know, and everything. Well, it was a big deal, and the guy ended up losing the game. It was a guard player, an Imperial player, or whatever. Well, in the final, that Eldar player that did that to him, that called him out on that, and was like being a jerk about it, did something similar. He forgot to use a stratagem on a squad that let him do his thing, and when it came to the assault phase, his opponent didn't let him go back and do it because you had to use it in the move phase. And the guy's like, man, he's like, you know I was gonna use it. You know I was gonna use it. He's like, you didn't say it. He's like, can I just go back and do it? And he's like, you didn't let your last opponent do that. He's like, I'm not giving you that. It ended up losing the game. Yeah, it was that whole thing. It like started the whole conversation about like how should we be playing, you know, Warhammer at a high level. I think the guy that won that final, that like Nick Navanati, or he's one of the Art of War people. In a team tournament event, a guy attempted deep strike his Grey Knights, couldn't fit the entire unit in the corner, which resulted in a mishap. Yep. He got so upset he threw the template across there and broke someone's model. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, sportsmanship and painting should be worth more than general. Yeah. I like that. I don't mind like it having equal value. A lot of events I go to in tournaments, there's like a best general, there's a best sportsman, there's a best painted, and you know, and they do that, and there's like a best overall. And yeah, it's like it's okay if I don't do well, if I'm being a good opponent and having a good time, or you know, I spend a lot more time hobbying than playing. Like I still have a chance to win the equal prize, right? Argue about them. Usually I see 9, they see 10. Roll a d6. Yeah. Some people don't want to leave it up to a d6 though. Just how people are. Is there anything I need to green stuff on this? I don't think so. I think I will go through with a knife maybe and just trim a little bit when it cures. We'll make sure it's all nice and pretty. Yeah, that's good though. Cool. Yeah, a little extra green stuff. I don't know what to do with. Yeah, so I have those drop pods I'm pretty excited about. And I also have, I was showing these off a little earlier, but my Seekers are all assembled. So, got them all here. Pretty basic. This guy's got a Auspex, which is cool. So, and these are temporary bases they're on. Ignore the jankiness of the square bases. These people sounds like I wouldn't enjoy playing with. No, definitely not. Well, tabletop. I just don't want to be an empty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it. Right. Yeah, it's not like you have to buy a new one after someone destroys it in game, right? You still have a Dr. Pepper after the game. I love that, dude. Yeah. The best games I've had are when both players are just like laughing. Like a big thing happens and like you just like it's part of it, right? And you laugh about it and you move on or you come back to it or whatever. And yeah, I played a guy in a recent Old World tournament. This was back in December. I was playing vampire accounts and I had a Banshee with like Psychic Scream, and he had a big unit of Demigryph Knights, which are like super elite, like monster riding knights and everything. And I ran up to this Banshee Scream, and I'm like, here, I'm gonna do this. And basically what happens is he rolls a leadership check at -2, I think. And for every point he fails, his unit takes a wound with no saves allowed. So he's like, that's cool. You know, my Witch Hunter's leadership 10, so this will be easy. You got to roll 2 dice. You have to get equal to or under your leadership. So leadership 10, rolling 2 dice, you have to get 10 or less. Pretty easy roll. It's -2, so it goes down to 8 or less. And then he was he under the effect of another -1? I think he may have been under the effect of another spell that gave it a -1 on top of that. So he needed a 7 or less. Okay, still, he might lose a couple Demigryph Knights. I think they had 2 wounds, maybe just 1 wound or whatever. He rolls boxcars, and most of his units gone at that point. And then I did it again the next turn or something, and I killed the entire unit. He boxcars again, like just completely like failed it again and just lost the whole squad. And we still fought that game to a draw, but we were laughing about it. It was crazy because like that's not me playing well, and that's not him playing bad. It's just dice. You know, we're running like a simulation of an event that we're imagining in our heads. So that's what it is. And like sometimes like crazy things happen like that. Is it worth to get Nurglings just for decorations? If you want them, Night Trap. If you feel like it's worth it to you, then do it. If not, then no, it's not. Like that is totally a personal thing. If Nurglings for decorations are worth it. I don't play Nurgle armies. I don't know if that's something I would do. I might put extra Nurglings on like some character bases, but probably not on I don't know about buying a whole set just to cut up Nurglings and put them on bases. I mean, it does sound cool though. It sounds like a fun idea. Type of great game for me is one in which my opponent does not feel bad for me and my dice rolls. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna go so hard. I'm gonna try to like just absolutely crush your Tyranids. It's gonna be great. My philosophy when I play games, I try not to bring, unless I'm like, if the mindset's right, you know, I'll match the mindset of my opponent when building an army, but I'm going to bring a fun list and bring goofy things and bring some good things, some bad things, but then when I play, I try to play to win. So, because I like the like thinking aspect of the game. Oh, putting the Nurglings on a Rhino. That's a cool idea. Yeah. That's not bad at all. The Innapro Pirate, welcome in. How are you doing? Oh, we can put that guy back. Put some of these other pieces back too. So I'll just need to clean up that drop pod. Those drop pods are going to take me so long to just airbrush. I don't think they'll be too bad to paint after I get the airbrushing done, but the airbrushing step is going to just take forever. What did you paint today? I haven't painted anything today. I assembled a mini. I showed all some other minis I painted. I did a little bit of green stuff. And then I got minis out for a game tonight. Because they're old Dark Eldar minis that are super dusty. But I'm going to be playing some 5th edition Warhammer tonight. So that's what I got. These minis are quick to paint. I think I primed to black. Yeah, I just did everything else. Pretty easy. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, I just have bunch of stuff sitting around. So yeah, I'm gonna try to have something to paint tomorrow. We'll see. Worst case scenario, if I'm just like swamped trying to catch up on everything and I can't find, time to airbrush things, then I think I don't know, maybe we'll play a game or something. We'll just find something to do. We'll chill for a while. More cinematic than to win. Yeah, Velas. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, for me it's like I can channel my competitive mindset in like the list building or the playing. I like playing a good like difficult, challenging game. Not moving forward with your Black Templar army at all. Still assembling. That's moving forward. Assembling is moving forward. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh man, I think I might end the stream a little early though. I came into this week just woefully unprepared. That's what I did. A bunch of resin salamanders bits. These things do not want to glue with Loctite gel. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to sound like a shill saying this, but the best super glue I have ever used for minis is this stuff. The Pro-Affix. This stuff is so good. And you guys saw it on Sunday when I was gluing the resin bits to the mini, to those seekers I was assembling. I would glue them. I'd glue an arm and I'm like, crap, it's in the wrong position. 30 seconds later, and I would go to pull this piece off, and it would break the piece. Like when this glue holds, it doesn't come up. I break resin bits and plastic bits sometimes before that glue pops off the minis. So that is my favorite super glue, and it's more pricey than Loctite, but man, it's good stuff. All right, guys, I am gonna call the stream there, though. I think I'm gonna try to, just do all these other 6,000 things. One figure per week, slow. Managed to do 10 per day during my vacation with plenty of time. Yeah, I mean, that's vacation for you, right? Right. Is that fully a good thing? That's true. I mean, if you like popping pieces off and putting them back on, maybe that's not what you want. But as far as like good strong super glue goes, that Pro-Affix is the stuff. It's a thin gel too. It doesn't run too bad. So big fan. All right, you guys have a wonderful afternoon. I'll be streaming tomorrow. Hopefully we're a little more productive tomorrow. We'll find something. If we can't be productive, then we're gonna play a game. So we'll find something to do. But you guys have a wonderful day. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so Patreon hangout tomorrow and all that. I'm going to be working on YouTube videos, so if you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, still working on trying to get that 500 number, that magic 500 number on YouTube, and get that watch time up to get affiliate. But that's the whole thing. If you're into me, listening to me talk about 1,000 Suns and 30K, that's there for you. But you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. Bye, everybody.